Dear friends, allow me to address you as you denounce the most controversial and disturbing aspect of the experimental gene serum with great and commendable commitment. Your battle for scientific truth, coupled with the increasingly coordinated action by countless scientists and doctors around the world, is opening the eyes of many people who have allowed themselves to be misled by the false promises of health authorities, by the discordant opinion of experts, and by the media propaganda. I will not go into the merits of the health issues in itself, as you are much better informed than I am. Allow me to bring to your attention some reflection, observing the entirety of what is happening without focusing on the specific details. It is now seems clear to me that the main purpose of this grotesque health charade is the imposition of a control system for individuals implemented through the so-called Green Pass. We know that the health passport has been designed years ago, but that in order to make it mandatory, it was necessary to create a pandemic emergency and force the population through blackmail or threat of sanction to allow themselves to be injected with an experimental drug for which the producer, the state, and whoever administers it do not assume any responsibility, pouring it instead into the patient. Just yesterday, the FDA decided to make public the reasons for approving the Pfizer vaccine only in 2076. This gives ample proof of the criminal mind behind the screen of public health. We see, therefore, that we have an elite of criminals gathered together in the World Economic Forum to conceive the Great Reset, and in the United Nations to implement the Agenda 2030, who have decided to decimate the population of the planet through some scenarios described in detail. They destroy national economies, cause poverty and unemployment, create discrimination and violation of fundamental rights with the sole purpose of controlling survivors, tracing their movement, modifying their lives, deciding their thinking, and establishing their health regime. This work includes the collaboration of rulers, public officials, doctors, magistrates, law enforcement agencies, the media, and as if that weren't enough, even the religious leaders. Calling it a conspiracy theory is an understatement. It is a coup d'etat pursued with a clear mind and determination, a crime against humanity. Its purpose is precisely to control us, to make us slaves and customers of a system that is about to implode, in which those who have made the most profits in the past, creating the crisis, are now preparing to carry out the fourth industrial revolution, as Klaus Schwab calls it, to continue accumulating power and money. The imposition of the health passport and the so-called vaccination are part of this project. It matters little that the constitution of the states and the most elementary principle of law are violated with impunity in the name of an emergency that was artfully provoked. It mattered little that the eminent personality of the world of medicine denounced the serious side effects and the gene serum of the criminal management of the pandemic. It mattered little that the microscopic conflict of interest existing between pharmaceutical companies, medical staff, health officials, and mainstream information are well known. Their narrative does not contemplate refutation, does not accept criticism, does not tolerate the evidence of the facts. But if an elite has managed to corrupt the rulers and carry out a real coup against the citizens, we cannot respond just locally. If the aggression is global, the action of opposition and resistance must likewise be global. I therefore also renew my invitation to you, who as scientists understand very clearly the danger of the experimental drug, asking you to join an anti-globalist alliance in order to be able to counter this undeclared but no less ruthless and violent world war in a unitary and coordinated way. Our enemy is not the virus, but the insanity of those who betrayed their duty to the detriment of the community, of those who believe they can impose the Chinese totalitarian model and social credit in our nations in the name of a communist collectivism that takes away identity and freedom to each of us. This global betrayal must be stopped. Let us respond to corruption with honesty, to lies with truth, to self-interest with generous dedication to public affairs, to the desire for power and money with selfless service and sense of duty. We reject not only the pandemic delirium, but the entire castle of horrors of the globalist ideology. The culture of death, of abortion, euthanasia, gender theory, the indoctrination of our children, the cancel culture, uncontrolled immigration, the demolition of the natural family, the reduction of the protection of wages of workers, the persecution of small businesses. Let us go back to being proud defender of traditional values, God, nation, and family. Let us return to praying to the Lord, recognize Him as King not only of individuals, but of all nations and societies. Only understanding the war in progress, identifying the opponents and their criminal aims, will allow us to resist and win. If we limit ourselves to looking only at the efficiency of the gene serums or the reliability of the test swabs, or the response that a single country has given to the spread of the infection, we will never get out. Remember, if the attack is global, the counter-offensive must also be global. May God assist and protect us.